I'm Stephen Boxer and I'm playing C.S. Lewis, who in the play is known as Jack Lewis because he never liked his real name, which was Clive Staples. And actually, I don't blame him. I mean, I have to say, this is one of the most challenging plays I've done for two reasons. Partly because I'm on stage every page, and I think I have half a minute off. And I've done big parts before. I've done Shakespeare at the RSC, I've done Titus, I've done Petruchio. But I notice, particularly during the technical rehearsal, usually when I'm doing a technical rehearsal I give myself little notes and I go off and write them down, like in Act 2, Scene 1, or I need to pick this up, or I have to sort of get this prop from there, or maybe do this bit of business on stage. When we'd done the technical rehearsal of this play, I just had this catalogue of things which were somewhere deep in the recess of my memory, but I hadn't written them down, so I really, when we came to do it again, I kept on making the same mistakes again and again and again. But we've done it for a week now. 3 weeks is a hell of a short time to put a play of this length on, but they're the constraints of commercial theatre. I mean, that's how they operate. I've been spoiled. I've worked a lot with the National and the RSC, where you get 6, 8, sometimes 12 weeks rehearsal. So it's good for me. I had to work my socks off, and so I had to learn it all. So I learned quite a lot of it. Well, I tried to learn a lot of it before we started rehearsing. In fact, there's so much of learning is to do with muscle memory and playing off other people. So that's not necessarily, for me, that's not the most useful thing to do, to learn it in isolation. So you still have a lot of learning to do once the rehearsal starts. In terms of playing, it's a beautifully, beautifully wrought piece. It's like a piece of music. It's like a symphony. And it's very, very satisfying to play. The arc of the play is very satisfying. It goes from sort of ribble, male wit, through to sort of angst and grief, through to a kind of resolution of love, and then sort of coming to terms with death. And I find that it does give you, when a play is as well written as this, and you find the heartbeat behind it, it gives you the energy you need. I can't imagine this play ever dying on me. Yeah. And I think that sometimes when you do plays, 8 shows a week, they will die a horrible death. One of the joys of touring is that it doesn't happen so easily, because the venues are different every week, the audiences are different every week, the size of the place where you're playing is different. So there are all these different stimuli which just keep it fresh, and but it is the nature of the piece and the dialogue which allows you to keep it fresh ultimately. There's nothing sort of what's the word, sort of remote in terms of 1 + 1 = 2, you know. Yeah. Or if I drop, if I quiet for 2 seconds here, I'll get a laugh. You just play the truth between the characters and the ideas. But I'm glad you like the Narnia moments as well, because they are built into the play up to a point. In the French's edition, which is the acting edition, they suggest a wardrobe in the back, so obviously taking the cue from The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe. And things come out of the wardrobe, and what we've done is we have this back window, as you saw, with a sort of version of Narnia behind, looking out at the windows from Magdalen College, Oxford. Yeah. And there were 1 or 2 elements, for example, when we wanted to get, there's some quite big scene changes, like getting the hospital bed off, and the suggestion came up, why don't we turn that into a Narnia moment? So I'm rather proud of the fact that some of those moments are our own, and it's just a testament again to what a great play it is, that it's, you can make it your own. Yes, it is a great strength of the play that deals with things that well, in my life certainly, I've had to deal with. A very dear friend of mine actually died of pancreatic cancer 2 weeks ago, and I've just seen him before Christmas, and I found actually quite hard rehearsing this play, and his sudden demise. So the feelings that it articulates are feelings that we probably will all have to go through at some point or other. But it does them with such wit as well. I mean, I think the emotional scope that the play covers, I think, surprises people. How funny it is, even at moments of poignancy and sadness, it's still funny, because he managed to encapsulate the behavioural tics of an academic and a feisty woman, or a bunch of academics, when they're on their home turf. And then he throws this hand grenade of grief into the heart of this ivory tower, and it sort of reverberates, and the ivory tower has to become a softer thing. It has to become a version of Narnia, with snow and trees. But anyway, I think it's a terrific play. The chemistry between everyone is wonderful, and I think if it's a story you don't know, you will be taken on a really interesting journey. I'm trying to persuade my daughter to come to see it. She's 17. She said, "Dad, I don't like theatre, I don't like theatre." She'd love this. I know she'd love it. I think we get her. And I'm going to drag her kicking and screaming. I don't quite know when or when, but it'll happen. I'll let you know. You can do an interview with her afterwards.
Definitely.